possible. So what I was going to do is I was going to list a few things. Let me just start by saying that we're very lucky. We've got some extraordinarily experienced and talented candidates here. And so many of us have business experience, many of us are parents. The things I think that distinguish me, though, first of all, I am actually the product of a liberal education. I have a degree in philosophy. I went to 2 small liberal arts colleges in California. I also bring to it a strong passion for science. My original intention was to become an astronomer, believe it or not. And kids that are going into the classical tradition, there's perhaps a risk of undervaluing science, and that would be a mistake. I think that to be relevant, kids need to be masters of both kind of the traditional classical content as well as science. And then finally, this is kind of a unique one. I don't know if anyone's going to mention this. Maybe this will be unique to me. I place a high value on physical fitness, and which isn't always necessarily sports. It can be sports, but just ensuring that kids get the adequate PE that they need. And there's a correspondence between that academic rigor and having fit bodies, especially in an age where we've just got rampant diabetes and obesity. We've got a duty to our kids to give them the training they need.
I want to run for the board because I feel I have many quality skills to contribute. I am a business owner, so as an entrepreneur, always looking for ways to grow and improve a current business, just like how we look at the school, how can we make it better. I would like to see, in terms of my contribution, bridging or bringing the awareness in the areas of the financials, fundraising, marketing, connections for the school for funding resources, a lot of PRs and communications. So having 2 kids at the school, I think I will obviously seek to listen to parents and work along the side with the teachers and staff and board members to achieve the overall goals and the academic visions and values of Eagle Ridge Academy.
Well, I've been on the board just a year now, and I feel like I'm finally climbing up that learning curve, getting to the point where I can start to add some value and understand the different stakeholder groups a little bit better, understand what's going on. So I would love to continue to contribute because there's an awful lot going on and a lot of exciting things happening. Some of the skills that I think I bring to the board are in the areas of critical thinking, asking questions, facilitating. I have background in business and managing financials and balance sheets, those sorts of things, as well as some in marketing and communications.
With me, I bring the knowledge and experience of classical education. That was where I was formed. I had worked previously before Eagle Ridge Academy. And I have an interest in just ensuring that the students here have that opportunity to continue in that classical formation. It's important to make sure that they are formed in their virtues or the pillars that we have here on the wall. And I don't bring any financial background with me, but I have worked in other leadership type positions where I've worked with people and leading them in small groups.
My reason for running for the board is the same that it's been for the last 6 years of being on the board. I'm passionate about seeing Eagle Ridge actually achieve its vision and mission. Since day one, I fell in love with the classical education model. It resonated with me in a way that I never experienced growing up in my own schooling, and I see it as the key to what this country really needs. So I want to continue to serve that because I don't feel like I'm done doing what I need to do, what I want to do, in helping Eagle Ridge get to that point. In terms of skills, I've been on the board for 6 years. I was chair for 4 years. I attended the state mandated training numerous times, well beyond what was required, because I wanted to stay current. I felt that was my obligation and duty to do so. I've got 4 kids here. As a parent, that's a lot of skills right there. In my personal life, I've been an officer of my company for the last 7 years, and for the last 8 months, I've been the president of the company, dealing with every aspect of the organization. So I'll bring these skills as well.
The reason I wanted to be a part of the board is just because I care deeply about this school and its future, its children and its parents. This is my first experience with a classical school, and I have found that it is the best way to educate children. During classes that I took for a master's program in child psychology, I got to understand a little bit more about how the brain develops and what a student can perceive as true throughout their development. Classical education follows that naturally, which is the number one best thing that I love about it. I also believe I bring a unique perspective to some things because I do have an arts background. Music is part of the 7 liberal arts. It is part of the quadrivium, and I believe that that voice should be a part of the discussions and the decisions of the board.
You know, I haven't been around Eagle Ridge all that long. I've only known about the school for about a year. And one of the first experiences I had with Eagle Ridge was building the playgrounds outside. Some friends of mine said, well, we're just building a playground. We've been on a committee for a while, we raised a bunch of money, and now we're going to build a playground. And I thought that was really neat, that, you know, rather than going out and finding somebody to build the playground for them and having a referendum, getting money from somewhere, and it just being done, the parents got involved, and the parents made it happen. And it seemed to be a theme that I've noticed on pretty much every aspect, is that the parents are a driving force behind this school. And I want to be a part of it. As for skills that I bring to the board, I'm an attorney. I'm licensed in 2 states. One of the most important parts of being an attorney is listening. A lot of people would say arguing, but listening is much more important. And as a board member, I feel like one of the most important jobs you can do is listen. Listen to the faculty, listen to the parents, listen to the students, and listen to the other board members. And by listening, you take in all aspects of the conversation, and only then are you able to make an informed decision. And I think that's something I can help with.
Well, I think being the oldest person in the room, probably, I'm going to have a little bit of an emotional attachment, since I think I'm probably the only person that was here on the opening day of the school in 2004. So I have kind of this emotional attachment to the school, and I really have been impressed as I was away for 3 or 4 years and came back onto the board as to the changes that have taken place. My career has been totally in education. I was the director interim director for the German immersion school in St. Paul. In high school for 25 years, and also have been on the boards of several other education institutions. So I think my approach is more practical, as the board members will tell you that my questions usually revolve around things like class size and more practical aspects of the school. I'm not a great philosopher, but I do appreciate the classical because that really is pretty structured. So the way it should.
I want to run for the board. I've been here for 4 years, and I've really enjoyed working at this hospital school, and I want to just be part of the board to help continue that. Things that I've done, I've actually sat on several boards in recent years. I've sat on a board of a college organization that I was in, and we actually done several remodels of that building, so just going through all that financial piece of that remodel. And I've also just held positions on many boards and done several companies on high school. I was Girl Scout delegate to the Girl Scout Council for Minneapolis, and secretary support to Detroit, and president supports. So just working with the people on the board, helping, making sure we come to an agreement, and making sure we're all listening to everybody that's on the board.
So one of the main reasons why I want to be on the board is like when you want to influence something, rather than being an onlooker, be part of it. You know, so you can be an onlooker, you can be critical, you can complain, you can whine, you can do all that. But if you really want to make a difference, instead of sitting in the by side, you better be part of it. Then you have much more, you understand what's going on, and you can influence and do something about it. My background, I've been in the IT industry for a long time. I've had various, one of the key things that I think that is important for a board member is to be able to drive initiatives in a challenging and changing environment. It is important that you have worked with different type of diverse mindsets and people of different backgrounds. And I have a lot of experience in running multi-year programs, working with different people, understanding the gaps in the organization, helping with the changing environment, and working with different locations, global locations. So I think